So we got a random Friday night, date night, dark night. We're gonna go to Fort Griffin. I've never been there before. It's in Albany, about 2.5 away from Arlington, where we are. We got a special pass and gate code to get to the ruins after dark. There's supposed to be one other set of photographers there, and so this might be like a fisticuffs kind of thing. We'll see how it goes. Now, every time we've met other photographers on dark sites, everybody's really polite, but it always makes me a little bit nervous. But yeah, so we're headed out. We're trying to get better about documenting these things. We've got a campsite, which is always feels a little bit pointless when we stay up all night, but perhaps we'll have a chance to take a napo. Given that it's going to be 108 this afternoon, I'm not 100% sure. It looks like we'll probably be napping in our new wheels. All right, we'll report back. Bye. Just really wanted to provide some context as to where we were driving. I really like Mineral Wells. I think it's a cool town, super special, really pretty. I also didn't know that there's a big banner going through town that says Home of Crazy, so pretty interesting. This was the road that took us to the suspension bridge that we'll show you in a minute, but it's definitely the longest gravel road that I've ever been on. It was at least 10 miles long one way, but really beautiful drive. It's about 3 hours later on our 3-hour trip, and we're halfway there. Got the backpack. We're not like, we don't really have a system down for camping yet, but we're getting closer every time we go camping. We're getting less and less every time we go camping. Yes. It's true. Anyway, so if you want to sponsor us, help us get a rooftop tent. We're not above asking the universe for anything anymore. This is more of downtown Mineral Wells. Beautiful spot. This is as we rolled into the park at Fort Griffin, and then we had to go double back to the campsite down the street. We are at Fort Griffin's on the other side of the highway. I think the Brazos might be on the other side, and maybe we'll do a little hike. But the ruins look cool. I don't know, maybe we'll get some like cool foreground shots there. But if we can get Milky Way here, I always like being closer to the campsite. See what it looks like. A lot of trees. Welcome to freaking Texas. This is more of that gravel road that we drove down to get to the bridge. And you can see us take a right here in a second, and then you will see the bridge on the left-hand side. It would be really cool to own the property adjacent to this bridge. All right. I saw this on the map. We just drove like probably 10 miles down a dirt road. I'm really looking out for snakes, but holy moly, this is cool. Wow. This is some Indiana Jones stuff. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. Alright, after a little digging, this is called the Clear Fork Bridge. It's over the Brazos River. It's about 312 feet long. It was built in 1896, and there's a ton of info on the web about it, but very cool. Right. These are like what we would call 2x10s, but they're like 3 inches thick, and not like a nominal 3 inches, like actually 3 inches. The only thing a little sketchy is like there are random holes out, and you're like, how did those get there? I'm sure someone found out real quick like. But I assume that this supported vehicles at one point in time. Like 250 pounds, a human. Yeah, like I don't love that. And then there's one up here where you like have to walk around a hole, and that's not my favorite. I don't appreciate it. It's always the skinny people that want to jump up and down on a bridge because they haven't been fantasizing about falling through one their whole lives.
Oh yeah, like this one.
Yeah. Thanks. Appreciate it. This is coming from the woman that does not like it if I jump in an elevator.
Oh.
But
That's terrifying.
jumping on the 100-year-old suspension bridge, we good. Super cool. I've not been on a suspension bridge in Texas to my knowledge. I will provide a link in the comments to a 15-page document about this bridge that I found online. It's very well researched. It was built in 1896, updated in 1926, and there's a whole Texas Historical Bridge Society worth a read, especially if you're a Texas history nerd. But I wanted to talk a little bit more about the fort, since that is our destination. The fort was established the 31st of July in 1867, about 30 years before this bridge, ironically. Its intended purpose was for settler protection on the plains and to protect from Comanche and Kiowa raids, but it only existed for about 14 years. It had some decently well-known visitors over the years: Wyatt Earp, Doc Holliday, even the guy who killed Billy the Kid. However, following the Red River War of 1874, raids weren't really much of a thing anymore, and the flag was lowered for the last time on the 31st of May, 1879. A large part of what drew me to this site were its dark skies and its isolation from a lot of light pollution, but as you can see here in the background, I believe that's Abilene, Texas. So the light pollution, especially the direction of the Milky Way, wasn't super great, but facing the other way was nice. We also saw the Starlink for the first time, which was a little bit nutty. We got some portraits of Steph. We got some really good flyovers of a couple different locations. We had a lot of fun. Can't recommend it enough. Read some more of the history. It's fascinating. And thanks for watching. That's what we're supposed to do. Actually slept for a hot minute last night. It's really nice. The forecast said it was going to be like 97 at midnight, but it did not feel anywhere close to that. Had a nice breeze coming through. Beautiful sunset. Headed home. Here's a really pleasant little scenic outlook as we exited the park and headed back home. Coming up here in a minute is a time lapse of the sunset that we experienced at Fort Griffin. It's one of my favorite time lapses. It's not super quick or dramatic, but man, you can see the moon set, and it just looks incredible. And it looks like it's almost accelerated at the very end, and then there's a few stars and a few shooting stars that shoot by. Oh, that's our friend Fred. Here's that time lapse. I love the color gradient. Hey, thanks again for watching.